Good evening, everybody. Jim Rosati here. Welcome to North Shore 9, I guess NS9 Live. That's the name of the show. NS9 Live. I'm here joined by Tyler, as always. Tyler, how are you tonight?
I'm here tonight, Jim. I am here. Not
You
much
are
more to be
here.
said.
You are here. And then lurking in the shadows, always also our producer and the third wheel, Anthony DiNardo. DiNardo, what up?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everyone?
So
Wait,
happy
where's
he's here.
my camera?
Probably in front of you.
Oh, there it is.
Hopefully.
It's all the
not.
I was
producer.
doing the wrong one.
What's this producer doing?
Here we are. Hi guys.
Was
How you doing?
Geddes must have been unavailable today.
He's too busy watching his son Super. Which, by the way, for
Still
the
a
people
great
that
name.
don't know Geddes, a friend of Tyler and I's, his son's name's Super. So how about that?
Yeah, it's not his son's name.
It's his middle name.
Yeah.
Which he is always called by his daddy. Not so much his mom.
Well, yeah. Like, can you blame him?
But how about that?
It's a solid name. I remember him joking about that.
And it came to
Didn't
fruition.
think he'd actually do it.
But anyway, so yeah, here we are. I'm here, as you can see.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Also,
You are here.
getting
Yes.
trolled by my fantasy football league. Very hard right now. And I'm taking
You're
it
probably
personally.
terrible. You're probably terrible.
It's been a rough season, man. I'm not the one, we had a little conversation. Ryan's the big proponent of that. Oh my God, no one cares about your fantasy football team, right? Right, Jim? I
Right.
think Ryan yelled at you about that once. But like,
I don't really
it's
care.
been
I'm gonna talk about it.
pathetic. I made a trade. I had 3 of the top 18 picks, and everyone's all injured. Everyone's all out. I mean, part of it is my fault because I'm not a very humble person. I like to talk trash. And I was talking all kinds of shit at the beginning of the season. And I'm in, technically, I don't know what place I'm in. Maybe like 9th. It's bad. So they're giving like all the outs of how I can get into the playoffs, which is like, the longest route ever. So it's just not happening.
I am in second place right now. I have outscored everyone by about 200 points. And somehow I'm 8-3. And I've gotten beat by the worst team in the league. Like, my team just didn't show up that day. Not one player showed up. I scored like 50 points. It was stupid. Also, I'm just going to take this time to mention, if you play in a non-PPR football league, I hate you.
Well, I guess that's me.
What are your
I am in a
thoughts
non-PPR
on
football league.
what are your thoughts on kickers? I'm extremely anti-kicker. in
I would rather
fantasy
not
football.
have them. There's no point.
First off, I think they're the worst people in the world. Just in general, kickers suck. And the fact that like a kicker can score either 0 points in a game or 15 points in a game, and really they both accomplish the same thing. It's stupid. I hate
I'm
it.
guessing you played against Young Hoku or whatever his name was. Young Wei.
I don't know. I've had this thought. I mean, this has been my thought process for 5 to 10 years. I think kickers are the worst. I think they deserve no roster spot. Not only on fantasy rosters, I think kicking should just be outlawed in football in general.
Oh, you're
No
one of those
kicking.
people.
No kicking at all. No extra points. You always go for 2. Maybe you can do something where, like, you get the ball on the 5 for 1 point. You get the ball on the 20 for 2 points, something like that. But no extra points, no field goals. You can punt the ball, but no field goals or extra points.
I hate kickers. Like, they've lost me so much money betting. Just because some idiot misses an extra point. And, of course, I don't cover a spread because of that.
I just hate it. Like, they have one job. Like, they have one job to do. And that's, like, they literally one thing. And
well, yeah, they have
if you
one job to
can't-
do, and they only have to do it like 2 or 3 times a game.
right. So you better be good at your job. I mean, like, I hate it when they just, like, suck. Like, how do you have a sucky kicker? Like, literally, what has he been doing all week at practice? Has he just not been doing the one thing that he needs to practice? I get it.
See? This is when the lights come on for Tyler. He just puts everything away because normal Tyler right now would bring up how if you're a kicker, you shouldn't give a halftime speech. But mature guy here won't do that.
Well, I'll say this, Jim. So I'm on board with you. And as a matter of fact, we did that. And the league I'm talking about is Ryan's league. The Godfather Ryan. It's his league. And I want to say we voted on it. It might have been 2 years ago where we abandoned the kicker. And I'm for it because I'm with you, man. Like, there's nothing worse than being up by, say, 20 points and there's a kicker left. And the damn kicker goes like off for like 5 field goals. And that's how you lose the game. So yeah, like when it comes to fantasy, I'm with you. So we abolished the kicker, and I think we've given an extra flex for it.
Yeah, that's the common sense move.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's more
PPR leagues
football than a kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Am I the only one that hates non-PPR leagues?
I don't mind.
I am not a non-PPR fan. I like half point PPR.
I will take a half point. I will be happy to take that. Non-PPR leagues, I hate watching my receiver go for 10 catches for 100 yards and get 10 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very frustrating.
I'm down with
like
either.
Tyreek Hill should have dropped 50 for me this week.
No, I'm a PPR guy.
And of course, I play in one league that is non-PPR because I can't convince them.
When you just got to drop the league.
Yeah, but it's like the league that's like people around here, so we have an in-person draft. Mm-hmm. It's for the most money of all my leagues.
You can still show up to the draft.
Yeah, but I'm not going to show up and not win. Like, what do you want from me?
Well, speaking of football, the Steelers are 11-0. I think the Wednesday game kind of threw.
Damn it, Jim. You ruined my segue. I had one already, too.
Steelers are 11-0. It's thrown off my week because I didn't even realize today was Thursday. Like, we had a football game yesterday, and it's just messed up my whole week. My whole week has been in disarray.
Those pesky Ravens.
What about it?
Yeah, you good, Jim? You gonna continue?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's it.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that build up just to stop right there.
No, I
bet Denardo would have segued that was way better.
That was it. I was just saying my week's been all screwed up because of Wednesday football.
Well, my week's been all screwed up just because of everything. But
it's going to be even worse on Monday whenever they play at 5.
See, I feel like that'll actually be a little bit better than 3:40 on a Wednesday.
No, I'm not going to lie. I kind of liked it because I had told everyone on Monday, Wednesday, just so you guys know, 3:30 comes around, I am unavailable. Don't bother me. But I got lucky. Halftime hit at 5 o'clock, basically. And I flew my ass home. Well, to the bar, but same thing. Home, bar, similar.
Your bars are open?
Yeah.
Our bars aren't open here. Our bars and indoor dining are all closed.
See, I guess Ohio's just fancy.
That's a good word for it.
We only had 9,000 new cases. We're fine.
All right. That's enough football talk. Unless anybody else had anything else to say about football on this.
Well, I just want to bring up what my segue was going to be. I mean, Tyler talked about how he has 200 more points than everyone in his league, yet he's 8-3. Would you rather be Tyler and 8-3 or those mediocre ass Steelers and 11-0 who just beat, cream pie teams, cream puff teams? Whoa, pause.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I'd rather be 11-0.
Yeah, I tweeted this earlier. There are no good teams. What do you want from them?
Yeah, I disagree with you. I think there are good teams, and the Steelers are one of those good teams.
The Dolphins have a winning record, and as a Dolphins fan, there are no good teams.
There are 2 good teams in the AFC. The rest are a step below.
I think there's 2 really good teams in the AFC. You could even argue there's 3. And then there's a couple, I don't think the AFC is that bad.
Not good.
I think you have the Steelers and the Chiefs. I think you probably have to put the Chiefs 1, Steelers 2.
I'd agree.
but I think the Titans are a good team. I think the Bills are a good team.
I don't
That's
believe
about
in
it.
Josh Allen ever. The Bills are all right. I mean, the Titans are all right. I just think they were a good step below the top two teams. And I think the NFC is similar, where it's, well, I mean, they're kind of all just clumped together. It's Rams, Saints, Seahawks, rest of them. Bleh.
Your
But
favorite quarterback.
it's also whoever
Jared Goff's having a good year.
Oh, he's terrible.
No, he's like really good though.
Oh, he's terrible. I could be good too if I had Sean McVay giving me plays at the line of scrimmage and audibling for me.
Oh, really?
Probably. I think Jared Goff has like the same Pro Football Focus grade as Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben Roethlisberger is literally drawing up plays in the dirt. Jared Goff's got a guy audibling for him.
I haven't watched enough Jared Goff to really make a educated decision on how he's doing.
He sucks.
All right.
I don't like them Buccos and all those guys that got non-tendered. Am I right?
How about that? There you go. There's our segue.
There's a segue.
That's how it's done.
Thank you.
All right. So we're done with the Steelers, just like the rest of the NFL
Yeah, done with them.
and PFF. Yeah.
While you guys talk about boring stuff, I'm going to go put some Manscaped on my balls.
Oh, do you want to do that, Tyler? Should we show them the code?
Well, you probably shouldn't do that live. But go ahead and do the code.
I like a good pH balance.
Why don't you tell them about it? Did you open up yours and try it out, Tyler?
Oh, I sure did. I'm telling you what, man. Sometimes these underwear will get a little stanky if you go a weekend and you don't really take a shower. Listen, Jim, I know there's been times in your life where it's like a Saturday, you just want to hang out. You don't change. Just sweat a little bit. Put a little bit of that Manscaped deodorant on there. Underwear smell fresh. It's a washing machine. I'm sure that's what they put on the ad read.
And let's think about this too. We're in a work from home environment. I mean, you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Are you really changing your underwear every day? Are you,
I mean, typically, yes.
Are you putting on pants?
I would say that is one thing I do every day.
You might just have to freshen.
Here's the thing.
Just a quick fresh. Real quick.
You are making your washing machine work less hard because it doesn't have to get that odor out of those underwear.
That's right.
Saving electricity. What you're saying?
Exactly. You can wash on cold. Throw everything in together. Wash on cold because you don't have to worry about getting all the bacteria out or whatever you got down there, Jim.
All my bacteria.
What are you talking about? You don't have bacteria down?
I guess we all have bacteria.
But yeah, to say, I mean, obviously for you guys that don't know, you can go ahead and get yourself some Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. As you see right here, the promo's on the video right now on the stream. For those, if you're listening at the podcast, go to manscaped.com. You can use code NS9 and get yourself 20% off.
And honestly, though, in all seriousness, that razor is worth the money alone. Like, you can't find good electric razors anywhere.
They are hard to find, especially during quarantine. Like,
they're so expensive.
Well, and everything's sold out, I feel like.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely with you. I talked about last week.
Thing.
And I'll definitely say it again. You're absolutely right. I love the feel of it, actually. But no, it is. It's a good razor. And you get a lot of stuff. That whole package, that bundle they have. I mean, I got boxers. Really, I got the wipes. I got the deodorant. I have, what else did it come with? Quite a bit. But anyways, yeah. I mean, go to manscaped.com. It's Christmas time coming up. Go get your dad a gift. Go get your son a gift. Get your friend a gift. Come to
get yourself a gift.
What's that called?
Get yourself a gift.
The elephant. What's that gift exchanging thing called?
White elephant.
White elephant, is it? All right. Yeah. Go get that.
Or get Yankee swap. Off.
All right.
You gonna talk?
Yeah.
Is that it? I thought you were still going.
It's like we all pause right at the same time.
Yeah. The code is NS9 for that, by the way. NS9 for 20% off.
Don't be using the same electric razor to shave your face as your balls.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
What about those non-tender parts? Speaking of tender things.
They need that 20% off now.
Speaking of tender things. Clay Holmes, apparently.
What? I'm here for all the segues.
Clay Holmes, apparently not tendered. Not tender enough. Clay Holmes. Couple other non-tenders, run through them here. Nick Tropiano was non-tendered. Clay Holmes. Let's see here. Who else we got?
You talking
not even just non-tendered?
Talking Pirates or
was that
around the league?
Yeah, just Pirates.
Oh, well,
I think that was it.
Tropiano was with the Mets, and he was non-tender with the Mets. FYI.
Oh. Okay. Well, Tropiano was non-tender.
But you could do like our good friend Ethan Houlihan, right? Former Pirate Alert. That's what you meant by that. Former Pirate Alert, Nick Tropiano.
Former Pirate Alert
was non-tender.
Nick Tropiano,
right?
Non-tendered. Yes.
Okay, so we can just go ahead and talk about all the people that the Pirates non-tendered, and does anybody really care? Because all of them probably should have been non-tendered.
Well,
or we can just talk about the fact that the Cubs are getting rid of Kyle Schwarber.
Well, I think that's what will definitely transition. Because as far as non-tenders, it was just Clay Holmes.
Yeah.
It was just Clay Holmes. I guess what we can talk about first, sticking to Pirates, is were you shocked that there weren't others? Like, were you shocked that Eric Gonzalez was offered and accepted a $1.2 million contract?
I wasn't too surprised. I felt like he proved his versatility last year. He wasn't terrible. Like, he started off off good, and then he
wasn't good.
He wasn't good. But he was better than he had been in the past.
I feel like because of those first few weeks, we're kind of giving that pass.
Yeah.
But overall, look at the numbers, he was actually pretty terrible.
I haven't even looked at the overall numbers. I just remember the first few weeks when we were comparing him to Fernando Tatis.
Right.
So you know what? Just that alone, he's worth the $1.2 million.
Okay, because just to break it down, final results, Jim. Right after the game, Eric Gonzalez or Fernando Tatis Jr. Final results: Eric Gonzalez 62 weighted run created plus, 0.1 WAR, batted .227. On base, 255. Slugged, 359. So not good, Jim. Not good.
How about this, though? He did actually play above average defense.
He did.
Right?
He did.
Played above average defense, played multiple positions. And that alone has some value. So maybe they just need to let him hit a little bit less.
I like it.
Damn, the chick in the brothel plays multiple positions too. I'm not paying her $1.25 million.
Well, it's not your money.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm fine with it. I mean, literally, the payroll is going to be at like $40 million this year, anyways. They have to pay some people $1 million. Might as well be Eric Gonzalez.
No, I'd rather not pay him $1 million than just call up some random guy from AA that probably sucks, but I already know Eric Gonzalez sucks, so let's find out what the guy that probably doesn't suck might do.
Like, I'm kind of
He might play multiple positions as well.
I'm kind of with Tyler on this, whereas now one thing that strikes me is it's not as if Charrington's when they made the trade. You know, obviously this is also a hunting. I don't know why Ryan's got me on this Nuttington. It's the Nuttington. It is a Huntington trade.
Huntington.
So, he could, of course, just say, it's not my guy. We're going to get rid of him. He kept him. I just feel like, you know what? I think I know what Eric Gonzalez is. Even when he was at his best, he wasn't that great. And I think the league figured him out, and he was very, very bad. And it's like, let's just try somebody new. Let's try and outcast someone else. Someone else's garbage who is pretty bad. Maybe we can change him. Change the scenery, who it is. I don't know. But it's like, I'd rather give that $1.2 million or use that $1.2 million into something else, to get another player or something. And not that we're investing in the good players, but, retreads. I don't think there's anything left to retread on Eric Gonzalez. I kind of feel like he is what he is. And like at his best, he's we're hoping that he can be an average player.
See, my thing though is like I'm completely fine with him being the backup middle infielder. Like he's going to be the guy who can play those positions and play the positions well. You can put him at third base if you need to. Also, it's nice to have somebody that if you've got to plug them in there, you can at least know that they can be capable of playing the position, and he's shown that. So I'm completely fine with it. I mean, I'm thinking through just who else would you put in there, like. I don't know. Like, I guess you could go outside the organization.
Well, let's go down the non-tender list.
So if we go down the non-tender list,
I mean, I just
there's really not a whole lot
keep going, but
but there's not a whole lot of middle infielders out there. I mean, you're looking at Hanser Alberto, Kyle Farmer, who's already been signed, Greg Garcia, Daniel Robertson, Jason Guzman. So like. I'm fine with Eric Gonzalez. Like, I don't know. I just he's shown that he's capable of it. I'm
what is capable?
Capable is he's a replacement level major leaguer that you can plug into a position, and he plays a bunch of them.
And I can find a AAA guy to be worth what he is.
Clearly, like the definition.
Like we're talking about a guy that is 40% below average at the plate. He does have a good glove, but like, give me Pedro Florimon. I don't care.
Pedro Florimon's not going to hit 40% below average. Pedro Florimon's going to hit 60% below average. Like you gotta remember, like
I'm just saying
middle infielders. They're literally.
But he'll cost $500,000.
There literally aren't going to be any just random guys out there who can play middle infield and hit. That doesn't exist. Like as far as a like a non-tender candidate or somebody that you're going to just put on like a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. Those people aren't out there. If you're going to bring somebody on as a backup middle infielder, they're not going to be able to hit, because if they could hit, they would be starting somewhere.
I don't know. A lot of guys fall through the cracks. I made one. It's not my job to find them.
I guess
that's
also
Ben
like where I'm
Huntington's
at.
job.
Like you already have Newman. You already have Adam Frazier. You have Cole Tucker back there somewhere. He's going to be like a utility all over the place. And I just feel like Eric Gonzalez is adding to that mix of a lot of junk. I hate to say it. Obviously, Adam Frazier, we're hoping to regain value, and obviously I could see him being like a deadline trade piece, but that's far in advance right now. He's going to be on this squad come March, come into April, I feel. So it's like, if you have Newman, you have Cole Tucker as well, then you also have Eric Gonzalez. I don't know. Again, like we're talking about Eric Gonzalez at $1.2 million. Like to Jim's point here, I also agree, like it's not the biggest deal. It's $1.2 million. But I think where I'm coming from, and maybe a little bit where Tyler here is I feel like I would just rather find someone else. And we're talking about just non-tenders. There's also free agents out there. I'd rather just have something else. Like let's just take a risk on somebody else, see if what can maybe blossom, flourish out of them, what have you. Who's also a bit younger, maybe. Eric Gonzalez is 29 years old. Will be. Well, I guess 30 end of August, so he'll be 29 for the most part. Again, that's just kind of where I'm coming from, but I think we've already talked too much about $1.2 million in Eric Gonzalez, though.
Yeah, and my thing is like I don't know who you're going to find out there who's that cheap. I mean, Jose Iglesias just signed a deal for. I guess they just traded for Iglesias, but Iglesias is being paid. Let's see, what's Iglesias being paid? $3 million, and it's not like he's that good. He had a good year last year, but like it's not like he's had a good career. He's been fine.
I mean, it's almost double the salary, and he's providing tenfold the production.
But the other thing
not
too,
even tenfold, like 20-fold the production.
Are the Pirates going to? I mean, Jose
No,
Iglesias
I get you, but
has an 88
Yeah.
OPS plus for his career. It's not like we're not talking about a good hitter here or anything like that. Where he's got a good
of
glove.
course.
He hit
Great
well
glove.
last year. Like
Great glove.
that's it. Like that's basically it. He hit well last year. He's never hit well in his career before last year, other than when he was like super young.
Which, of course, small
Yeah,
sample. Hi, Babbitt.
Right.
we're arguing over guys that aren't very good. Like
That's the
over
other thing too.
$8 million. At the end of the day, it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter who they bring in.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it in the grand scheme of things, there are enough lottery tickets out there that if the Pirates felt like let's spend 1 point whatever million on Eric Gonzalez and go after another lottery ticket, I'm cool with it rather than going after the lottery ticket of whoever else is out there. It's just that I would rather just some college infielder that we drafted, just bring him up that we think sucks. Who cares?
See, I'm not for just calling people up who suck just because. Like I feel
am.
You still should have to earn your way onto a major league team at some point.
When did Eric Gonzalez do that?
Eric Gonzalez has shown that he can at least play Major League Baseball. I didn't say he was good at it, but he's been better than some.
He's no Jose
There's
Ozuna.
some that. That's another guy that didn't deserve it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Sorry, Jose. But it is what it is.
Well, I'm looking at the list of shortstops here, and there's a few people who
There's
are going to
nothing.
be there's people out of their price range. So like Marcus Semien obviously isn't going to sign here.
Hey, maybe in the middle of the year,
going to sign here.
Eric Gonzalez is an 80 WRC plus guy with a good glove, and some team needs a backup middle infielder, and you can get some scrub reliever for him.
But again, like I feel like we are spending like an absurd amount of time on this. But again, it's just like you're hoping for the best that you can get a scrub reliever for this guy. So like if that's the best,
I know.
why not, instead of having 39 guys on your 40-man, why not free that up, have 38, try something else? So
I'm with
I don't
you.
know. I mean,
it's just like
let's maybe talk about some of the non-tenders.
I'm just gonna disagree with you then. I disagree.
like-
I think Eric Gonzalez was a clear-cut lock to tender a contract to.
if I could just if we had a Mount Rushmore of dumbest conversations we've ever had, this is it.
I mean, let's put it this way. Eric Gonzalez, deal. Kyle Schwarber, gone.
Little bit different salary
It is.
ranges
I mean,
there
obviously
too,
it is
but,
because it's the contracts themselves. But like, put some perspective on this. Eric Gonzalez job, safe. Kyle Schwarber, you're looking for a new employment.
I mean,
Yeah.
once again, this is a 1-1 pick of dumbest conversations we've ever had on the show.
Cheap ass Cubs. Could we talk about that too?
It is a little. I mean, I would not have expected them to non-tender Kyle Schwarber. I mean, he wasn't great by any means last year, but he's been a good major league hitter pretty much his whole career. And especially with like you have more you get more DH situations now too. Like I feel like he's a little bit more valuable, than he used to be too.
Is this
I
not to cut you off, but I'm going to cut
Yeah.
you off. Is this maybe a precursor to that? So you make a good point, Jim. Like, you see Schwarber getting non-tendered here. Charrington's made a couple comments saying that he's going into the season believing there is not going to be a DH because there's been nothing to indicate that they will have a DH. So with him saying those comments and you're seeing guys like Schwarber get cut, non-tender, I should say, is this maybe a precursor that there really is not going to be a DH this year also?
I mean, you bring up a good point because, like, I feel like if there was going to be a DH next year, I mean, Kyle Schwarber would be a lock for the Cubs DH. I mean, he's kind of like a cookie cutter, perfect example of what a DH should look like.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. If there is going to be a DH, the MLB will get absolutely trashed because there's a lot of guys out of jobs right now that should not be out of jobs. for a very small amount of money. Like you look like Mitch Moreland. He got a $3 million option declined. Maybe if they have a DH, it's a different story. Like if they come out and say, hey, we're going to have a DH, we're way too late in the game for them to say, we're going to go ahead and just go forward with it now. You can't let teams start making roster decisions without letting them know who the hell's going to be on the field.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the MLBPA will lose their mind if there is a DH this year after some of the non-tenders and options that have been declined.
Isn't that coming up to that deadline? Isn't that supposed to be announced? I mean, obviously the winter meetings are this upcoming week. So
yeah, I would imagine they would have to have something announced by sometime next week during those winter meetings. I mean, that's probably when they're going to make a decision, right?
I hope.
I mean, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all I was saying is I hope.
No. But like not even the MLBPA, but even clubs like the Padres that declined Mitch Moreland's option of $3 million. I'd be a little upset if I declined the guy for $3 million that had a 135 WRC plus last year. And then you come back and say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that DH thing.
Yeah.
But at the
That's a decision that's got to be made so much sooner.
Yeah, but like, and add into like, not even just so much the uncertainty of a DH, but I mean, teams are crying poor that you're seeing this too. It's so crazy, you know? And like, yeah, like notable guys, I'll just name some out here right now, like Kyle Schwarber, David Dahl, Archie Bradley, Eddie Rosario, Adam Duvall, Maikel Franco, Nomar Mazzaro, Carlos Rodon.
I'll tell you the name that like surprised me more than anything was Adam Duvall, because I feel like first off he's hit the ball everywhere he's been, and he even like was kind of like a Braves hero this past year. Like down the stretch, he hit a ton of big home runs, hit a lot of big home runs in the playoffs. That one struck me a little bit by surprise. I figured, because I can't imagine he would be that expensive to keep. I think he's in like his year 4, so like it's not like you're not going to be paying Adam Duvall $10 million or anything like that. So that one surprised me a little bit, because he's
in his second year of ARB.
Yeah, I mean, he was hitting the ball pretty good there for the Braves, especially down the stretch this year.
And we are talking about a team with the Braves. I mean, they're a team that looks to be spending money. Like, they're not afraid. They're not the ones that are crying, we have no money. Mm-hmm. Unless this is their way of doing it.
Adam Duvall, great guy, by the way. I had classes with him in college.
Oh, whatever.
Good guy.
She did. Of course she did.
Did you get his autograph? Did you stand in line and get his autograph too, Jim?
No, I did not stand in line to get his autograph after class.
Not after class, at least.
No. But
yeah, there's
no,
a
so
lot
that
of
one,
dudes out there.
That one surprised me, and then the Reds with Archie Bradley surprised me too. I didn't think that was, because the Reds too have been a team that has kind of shown that they are willing to spend some money, and they actually traded real people for Archie Bradley at the deadline last year. So
yeah,
they actually traded a prospect and Josh Van Meter last year at the deadline for what ended up being 1 month of Archie Bradley. They traded their.
And if you got it, I don't know,
because
they traded their second round pick like for Archie Bradley and Josh Van Meter. So yeah, so that surprised me.
Yeah. Another guy out there like Carlos. I always mess up his last name. Rodon. Yeah. Yes. That's a guy I'd be real tempted to take a flyer on if I'm the Pirates.
I can't disagree. I like that one too.
That's the one that I just keep looking at. Like, there's a lot there.
The fact that he's young still, he is a pitcher. He's a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Pirates can use help anywhere. But, I feel like there's definitely a need in their rotation from somebody. Why not?
I mean, would we rather watch, I don't know, well, not Trevor Williams, but whoever else they decide to throw in there, or someone with a little ounce of potential that you never know what you can get, and then flip him. Because he's not going to be here no matter. Whoever it is will not be here when the Pirates are finally good again, which I might be 50 by that time, but who knows?
I think you bring up a good point though with him. I think he's somebody that I could definitely see the Pirates going after. They do need probably another arm or two, for that starting rotation, just from a depth standpoint. And do you really want to roll with Cole and Brault both in your rotation? So, you probably need to bring in one or two other arms just to kind of shore things up a bit. And he's a guy, he's 20, he'll be 28 next year. So it's not like he's super young, but he has had some success too in the majors. It was a while ago. He's been kind of pedestrian the last 2 years, but he's also been hurt. He's somebody I would totally support bringing in on a minor league deal. I don't think you give him a major league deal or anything, but I think he's somebody that could compete for a roster spot.
Right.
And that's the nice thing with the Pirates right now is they're in a position to be able to take those kind of lottery tickets and just see what happens, because everyone's going to go for so cheap right now that you might as well take as many as you can. Like I'm buying scratch offs, and one of these things might hit.
And to pivot this and kind of make the comparison, like the whole Eric Gonzalez, it's kind of why I think this was setting up for this. I would much rather, again, this is why I know we're arguing about $1.2 million and all, but I just feel like that's why I would rather not have Eric Gonzalez on the squad and look at using, those 2 extra roster spots right now to go get this guy, because this is a guy who could potentially become something. You're hoping, as Tyler says, that you can get a scrub reliever out of Eric Gonzalez, whereas this guy, he could potentially become something and a real piece. The trade the deadline, trade next year. I'm not going to say be part of your team because, like Jim said, he will be 28. But he does have some control. But the thing about him too, let's compare about him and Carson Fulmer, right? There's a whole, I won't say all, but there were some people hyping up Carson Fulmer last year because of his draft status, right? The stuff that he presented, but he's someone that never put it together. Whereas, with Carlos Rodon, and I'm going to be like, it's Rodon, right? Anyways, Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Yeah. Tyler has me all worried how I'm saying it now.
Man, I've read his name 8,000 times and I still never really figured out.
So, with him, as Jim said, yes, he was that hype player. He was picked in the first round. He had success and is tailed off. So it's let's spin the wheels on him. Let's hope to maybe find that success once again. And now you have an actual piece that you can trade off.
I guess my thinking is Eric Gonzalez is $1.2 million. Has nothing to do with what the Pirates can do in the free agent market when it comes to adding a pitcher. I mean,
I'm looking at less at money wise and just he's a roster spot, like him being on the team.
Yeah, but you still need to have an infielder. So at the end of the day, you still need an infielder. He's not taking up a pitcher's roster.
You have too many infielders.
And they'll get rid of one. I don't think they do. Cole Tucker didn't even play a single inning in the infield last year. I don't even know if Cole Tucker is an infielder anymore, to be honest with you. He literally didn't play an inning. He didn't play an inning in the infield. So it's
a sad thing because he's probably our best infielder.
Apparently not. They don't even think of him as one. So I don't know. It's Eric Gonzalez being a tender contract has nothing to do with what the Pirates can do to shore up their starting pitchers. That's all I'm saying. They have room, they have availability, they have money. They didn't pick up Archer's option. They non-tendered Trevor Williams. Those two things right there just saved them $15 million from what would have been on the payroll this year. So, and two roster spots in the starting rotation. Eric Gonzalez's $1.2 million deal had nothing to do with any of that. That's my argument.
I don't care.
And the one thing, just while I'm looking at Carlos Rodon, He's lost some ticks off the fastball. But I mean,
he's not been good the last
you
years.
attribute that to injury. Yeah, but the velo's way down from his good years. But still, we're talking about a 28-year-old, and I think we've seen quite a few dudes be able to ramp that velo back up. So you never know. But I'll just take a flyer on anything right now. Like a guy that has had success. I maybe I just believe in Oscar, another guy that I can't pronounce the last name, Marine.
Yes.
Marine. There you go.
Yeah, see, there we go, boys. I'm learning Spanish. Maybe I believe in him a little bit too much, but I just like the guy, and you never know. Maybe he's going to go with Michael Feliz, the drive line, and learn from Kyle Bodie. And
there you go.
All right, so I'm going to say a name of somebody who I absolutely think the Pirates should sign and sign to a major league deal. And that is Kurt Casale. We all know that the catching position has zero depth whatsoever. The Reds non-tendered Kurt Casale this week.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at his numbers, great defensively, holds his own offensively. You know, he was 131 weighted runs created plus last year, 90 the year before, 115 before that. So like the guy knows what he's doing at the plate. He's not bad. He's fine, especially for a catcher.
He's fine.
And he's good defensively. So I think that's a name in particular where I think you go after him to basically split time with Stallings behind the plate.
We still have Stallings.
I don't hate that though at all. And it kind of fits that mold and profile as what Cherington wants to do, right? He wants to get better defensively, up the middle. I mean, we've seen it all last year. That's why he got Maley. Maley no longer on part of the team, although the Brewers took him, signed him to a deal. But yeah, like you're absolutely correct. There is no depth. I'm not totally worried about any type of trade that we make right now has to be for a catcher, which seems to be like the trigger topic right now amongst Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh media, right? What catcher are we going to trade this person for? Yeah, we need depth. You know, it really is just Stallings right now, basically. So you're right, adding Casale in there, and both of them could potentially be some type of trade piece at some point or whatever. But you're right. I mean, both are very good defensively. The offense isn't really there, but it's not as if they're pathetic offensively. Like they're neither of them are going to be a liability to the club. So
yeah, I mean, we even saw it last time. Stallings even just being a league average hitter was the second best hitter on the team.
Right. So Casale, he could be our third best hitter, honestly.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Actually, probably if you take that 131 WRC plus last year, he probably was the best.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on Wyatt Matheson and Reese McGuire to come up.
I'm afraid I got bad news for you.
Where's Elias Diaz at? That guy had like a 128 in AA. Where's he at? He's coming.
But I will say Reese McGuire was tendered a contract.
Oh, happy for him. He wasn't jerking off in a parking lot.
That's where it was tendered at.
Probably should have used Manscaped.
Just use Manscaped.
Hold up. All right. Back on track here.
But yeah. So Kurt Casale, you guys.
No, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
fine. Whatever.
My guy, as Tyler pointed out, was one of them. Carlos wrote on. The other guy I would love to see is David Dahl. We had a little talk before this.
God damn it, Denardo, I'm with you.
But my God, like that just, and you know what? I want to give them credit too. Someone mentioned this when I brought it up the other night, and they just said, like, that just sounds like a pirate name. And I'm like, you know what? That I could just see some Yinzers talking about David Dahl all day long. He just sounds like a pirate. But everything we said about Rodon, I mean, again, David Dahl, first rounder, talent, top pedigree, you know, and as far as the prospect rankings. I guess have a little soft spot for him in the sense that like he was just killed with injuries. You know, I know he had the lacerated spleen. You know, he came up, he missed a few years and such. He hasn't really put it all together, but I just feel like the talent is there. And he has shown it. Like, let's be honest too, as we talked about, like, it's not as if he's just been a complete disaster. I mean, he was an all-star last year, which, great, who cares about all-stars, honestly? But it just shows, like, just as recent as last year, he was productive. Every single year, he's been an above-average hitter for the time that he's been there. Yeah, he was garbage last year, but so many people were. Why not? Why not? And how old is he? He's 26. You know, he's in his first year of ARB. He's controllable. Why wouldn't you do it?
I'm a sucker for potential.
So I am curious. So like, I kind of hated on David Dahl earlier, but realistically, I think the team does. I mean, we do have kind of an empty spot there in center field, and he could fill it. You know, so you've got you could plug him in center. He's going to be better than Gerard Dyson was, and probably not that much more expensive, and has more potential because like we know, and like you mentioned before, we've seen David Dahl hit. Every single year that he's been in the majors, he's been an above average hitter, other than last year. So I'm for it. That's another guy I wouldn't mind seeing because he actually fits a need too. Because right now this outfield that we have it's Reynolds and it's Polanco, who I mean he's just been we all know his struggles, but it's really just those two right now. They really
should be playing first base right now.
They really don't have anybody else with any substantial major league experience other than those two.
Yes, I mean they have Anthony Alford for center field as they got in that trade. I know Tyler loves him, but I know they have him, and of course like Jared Oliva. So, but that's it. And I guess if you're considering Cole Tucker, I guess if you're considering him, he's also in that mix. But you're right, Jim. I mean, I just want to point this out. As far as true outfielders go in this 40-man, it's Alford, Oliva, Polanco, and Reynolds. This infield, you want to talk about crowded. Josh Bell, Castro, Cruz. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about actual major leaguers, though. Bell, Phillip Evans, Adam Frazier, Eric Gonzalez, Gabriel Hayes, Colin Moran, Kevin Newman, Cole Tucker. And apparently no DH. I mean, this infield is crowded as shit.
Yeah. Well, Craig.
And
we have a bunch of not good people that we can't really get rid of.
No, you're right. And that's why I think they took the one of those guys who's probably the most versatile and the most athletic out of all those people that you named, and basically they're turning him into an outfielder is what it seems like. I'd like to see Cole Tucker play some winter ball this year. I don't know if that's in the plans or if he's too busy hanging out with Vanessa.
He's playing something else this way. He's busy, Jim.
He's got more important things than winter ball.
Let me see if I can fit that into my schedule.
But no, I mean, as far as the outfield goes, though, it's no one with over 100 games of experience in the outfield other than Brian Reynolds and Polanco. So they've got some gaps there. I would be completely fine with David Dahl filling one of those gaps.
Yeah, what if I told you? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What if I told you David Dahl blows away from Coors Field?
I wouldn't be shocked.
I also
away from
wouldn't care. Because
you might.
Everyone in Pittsburgh blows in Pittsburgh, so what does it matter?
Yeah, but they don't blow at Coors Field. I mean, we're talking about a field that let Clint Barnes hit like 23 homers.
I get it. But I mean, DJ LeMahieu also. I know there's some actual valid things about course fill. I mean, there's some validity to what you're saying, but again, honestly, I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
I still like the talent. Let's get him here and find out.
Yeah, and things like weighted runs created plus, like those are park adjusted. So
Yeah, I'm not even looking at that. I ignore that when we talk about course field. We're talking about like 718 away OPS.
You say
that's probably better than that's probably the second
17?
best on the Pirates.
718.
718's league average.
Oh my god. Oh, 718. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought we were on weighted runs created plus, and I thought you said 17.
Huh.
That's why I was like,
oh, no.
Wait a minute.
718.
Granted,
yeah,
that's probably that's most likely weighted
average.
down by a few very bad seasons, like this year, because WRC Plus only has something like 111 at home in his career. So, but still, look, I'll take a flyer on the guy. But you know who the Baltimore Ravens should take a flyer on? Bubba Starling. They need a quarterback.
Bubba Starling. Gosh, he hasn't played football in a while though.
He's a terrible baseball player as well.
Is he 26
it was kind
now?
of cool.
Is that what he is?
He's 28 now.
I feel like I've heard about Bubba Starling since I was like a child.
He was He was the 5th overall pick in 2011.
I think Bubba Starling was in the minors the same year Bubba Sparks got popular.
Probably.
Because you're right. And it's funny, like I'm shocked he's 28 for the fact that it's 28.
I thought he was 38.
Like he's really finding his well, yeah, like it feels like he's 38, but it's like, has he really been like he's 28 years old? Like, geez. He's now like really getting his first take. Last year was his first year in the majors, wasn't it?
He's terrible. He debuted in 2019.
Yeah.
But he has not been good. And he wasn't really good in the minors. He never really deserved to even make the majors, I don't think.
No, it was one of those like, all right,
he was one of those guys where they drafted him. He was just a hell of an athlete in high school, and they thought they could just develop him into a baseball player. And it never happened. I mean, he started off like first prospect rankings after being drafted. Baseball America had him at 24th. Next year it was at 35th, and then he dropped off completely. So,
really, I felt like he was on there even longer than that.
Nah, he just
like there was so much hype around him.
Yeah,
he couldn't hit at all.
Like you just didn't. It was always like, Bubba Starling went 3 for 4 today. They didn't mention that he went 0 for the last 30.
Yeah, I mean he,
bad.
He played 8 seasons in minor league baseball.
However,
imagine that.
Going back to the Mount Rushmore, that is a first round pick of a athlete name.
Bubba
Starling. That is a great name right there.
Oh, it is a good name. I think that's the other reason why people knew who he was.
Yeah, that's why you remember him, because his name is Bubba Starling. That's
just an
awesome.
excellent name.
That's why I still know who Gunnar Keel is.
He was going to Nebraska. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's who he was. Yeah, he was going to be Nebraska's quarterback. He was like one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school.
He was J.R. House after J.R. House.
He was better than J.R. House. Not at baseball. Not at baseball. J.R. House was better at baseball.
Kyler Murray probably would have sucked at baseball. Let's be honest. He had a long way to go.
He made.
I don't know. He was what, like a 9th overall pick?
I think
5th. I thought
9th or 7th.
He was up there. He was up there. Like
I thought he was like 5th, but he hit like 291.
They were even gonna waive the. Did they? They were like waiving the draft rules like form and everything.
Oh yeah,
weren't they?
Yeah,
they were trying to give him a major league deal, which
he was bound to be an absolute bust.
Well, he's not a bust in football.
Never find out.
He's okay. He's gonna make a lot of money, so good for him.
He's okay.
He's better than Lamar.
Your quarterback standards are just absolutely stupid.
Tom Brady, system quarterback.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson sucks. Kyler Murray, he's okay.
Jared Goff
he's okay.
sucks.
No, Jared Goff does suck.
So how many good quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
Big Ben
Right now?
Roethlisberger.
I mean, I'd put Big Ben in my top 10 right now.
No.
This year.
You would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, good quarterbacks.
PFF doesn't have them in the top 10.
Yeah, PFF's a terrible. PFF says that Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Ben Roethlisberger. PFF needs to go die.
PFF has watched way more football than you have.
Yeah, not well.
I mean, that doesn't say much, though.
I don't want to base my decisions off of some stupid rubric that nobody else has any access to, and they have no idea what's going on. If you think Daniel Jones is having a better year than Ben Roethlisberger, I don't respect your football decision on anything ever. But
All right.
back to the original point here.
Back to
Patrick
Bubba
Mahomes.
Starling.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, are you going through the good quarterbacks?
Yeah. So
Okay,
exactly
so
what I was going to do.
So there's one.
There's Mahomes. I think Rodgers is good. I don't care what people say.
Oh, hell
Breeze
yeah,
is
he's
washed
good.
up.
Who doesn't say
but
he's good?
They're okay. You're not on the same Pittsburgh Twitter I am.
Wow.
I'm on a similar Pittsburgh Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that hate Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
There's
Rodgers.
a lot of people
is good. I
hate
don't care
Jim,
what you say.
so he can
Well,
relate.
people. I don't
Aaron
know.
Rodgers
I don't
was
know.
Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes
Nobody
just
was
took it to
Patrick.
another level.
Nobody was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers that year he won the Super Bowl was unreal.
There's a lot of Aaron Rodgers hype. I mean, Aaron Rodgers he's going to go down as the best quarterback in history.
Yeah, and then Packers started to suck,
And now he's really good again.
and then he took a lot of blame. Granted, now we see Mike McCarthy in Dallas and realize, oh, that guy kind of blows.
I think we all knew that.
I still like Deshaun Watson. I think he's better than Lamar. I think he's a much better passer than Lamar. Hey, Ben.
You said
Really
Lamar
sucks.
sucks. You said Lamar sucks. So just being better than Lamar doesn't mean you should be good, right?
Lamar doesn't suck. I mean,
Oh, what?
here's where I'll put Lamar Jackson.
Oh, shh. Everyone be
Last year he was talked about like he was in the category of Patrick Mahomes. Like those are the two guys. They're not even the same stratosphere.
They're two different types of players. I don't
Yeah.
think you can compare the two.
No, you can't because Patrick Mahomes you can put in any offense. Lamar Jackson needs one specific offense.
You
It's
design
what
an
they're running.
offense around Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, you just plug him anywhere and he's going to be fine.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't run the offense Lamar Jackson runs.
Yeah, because it's a stupid offense because it's built on a run quarterback. If you need to win a Super Bowl, you're picking Patrick Mahomes every day of the week. They're not in the same category. Granted, I know your argument's kind of like we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. He's the real deal.
I agree.
But,
Patrick Mahomes is really good.
I think when we're talking about a franchise type quarterback, you can plug him into any team and they're going to figure it out. Lamar, they had to build around him.
What's wrong
And
with
that's
that?
where I leave it. I don't want my quarterback to have to be built around. I want a guy I can plug in. We're going to go win some damn games.
He doesn't want Tom Brady.
You don't
Yeah,
want Tom
system.
Brady.
System quarterback.
He only won, 5 Super Bowls?
Yeah, and a great system. Thank you, Josh McDaniels.
So that's what a good quarterback and a great
Northeast
system
Ohio
can do.
guy.
That's what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
No, because Lamar hasn't won a playoff game. Lamar Jackson is basically Josh Allen. They're the same
Lamar
guy.
Jackson.
Josh
Lamar
Allen might be
Jackson's
better.
Lamar Jackson's still like 3 years younger than Josh Allen.
Okay. I think Josh Allen blows too, actually. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
everyone blows.
There's no way you think there's 10 good quarterbacks.
I really don't. I think the quarterback position is so watered down anymore that it's hard to tell. Like,
There's
who's
not
actually going to be able to
there aren't 10
nut up
good
and win
ones.
some games.
There aren't 10 good ones out.
See, good's real relative. Because if you want to look at it just numbers wise, you could consider all of them. Like, you could say Justin Herbert's good this year. He doesn't win games. He gets a bunch of garbage time stats. Same with Blake Bortles back in the day. He wasn't good. I think the quarterback position is just so watered down that it is what it is. But we've wasted enough time on my football takes. Those are safe for Twitter.
Yeah. Welcome to NS11.
All right. Yes. NS11 Live.
That's what I do, boys.
All right. Well, we talked about non-tenders. We talked about the guys who
Shaving
were
your balls.
tendered. We talked about Eric Gonzalez for 20 minutes.
And I'd have to bring this up.
I think-
I did. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys. Have we all forgotten about Phillip Evans too? Like, he's just still hanging around there. Here's another guy on this roster, on this team that is still there.
I will answer your question. Yes, I forgot about Phillip Evans.
We're going to go into 2021 with no DH and have Josh Bell, Colin Moran, Cabrian Hayes, and Phillip Evans. Interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can he play center
I
field?
mean-
Figure it out.
Can he play short?
It's crazy too, because like you have to give Evans a shot again, right? After his
How could you
2
not?
weeks, right? I mean, it
His
was only
2
2 weeks, but like he looked really good in those 2 weeks. So like you have to at least give him a chance to make this team again. I don't know if he'll end up being because he only made this team last year because of a bunch of spring training injuries and crazy things happening. So I don't know if he makes the team again, but he can play outfield, by the way. He did play outfield for
That's
17,
another guy.
17
Colin Moran.
innings. So
I love Colin Moran. We know what we got in Colin Moran. I'd rather watch Phillip Evans play.
So just to point
With
out as well,
Phillip Evans.
for those 2 weeks, as Jim pointed out, right, those 11 games that Phillip Evans played, he did
I know we're
rank
talking.
5th in WAR last year. So
Yeah, and we're talking about if we look at it, those 11 games, Colin Moran might have been above him at that point in time. So yeah, it's a really, 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 really small sample size.
Oh, it's
but we know what we
it's
got, Colin Moran.
hugely small. That's weird.
Let's
It's
just
hugely
put
small.
Cabrian Hayes at
Hugely
shortstop and let's roll with it.
Someone's got to get
Let's
you.
just
I
get
am
weird.
honestly,
Let's get weird.
I am a little surprised. Like, I get that he's like an elite defensive third baseman, but I am a little surprised that that's not something that has even been talked about, to be honest with you. Like, I would put him there and just see
Just
if
for
he's
fun.
good. Like, because you do have all these if he ends up being a good shortstop, then you've got yourself a good shortstop. Like, someone
His
who can hit
value
the
could
ball.
only increase.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm surprised that it's never even been tried in the minor leagues. And I get that, when he was first drafted, he was substantially slower than what he
He was a
was
chubber.
now. He has gotten more athletic as he's progressed through the organization. But maybe like when he was younger, shortstop was just completely out of the question. But now, like, he's athletic. He can. I think it's worth at least giving him a little bit of playing time and some reps there, maybe during spring training, just to like see how he handles it.
And
'Cause
what a
that
year to
would
do it.
solve. That would solve some of your problems.
Why
It
not?
really would.
Who
And it
cares?
would also, and I'm not here to advocate for it. It's something to definitely think about. I'm open to thinking about it, but it definitely only increases his value. I mean, as a third baseman, you're hoping that bat plays and stays. I mean, he's not going to hit for 376 for his career, but
You don't know that.
if it might be 396, you're right. So if he's, even if he takes a hit defensively, it's still good defense, I would imagine. Good enough. And if that bat's there, like as you're short, and then you can't have someone in third base, maybe it's Colin Moran still. I don't know. I mean, you're right. I want to be opposed to trying it out.
Yeah,
I'm okay with giving it a whirl.
And we don't have
Yeah,
to
I
worry
would try
about
it.
Newman or Tucker or Eric Gonzalez. Let's get Brian Hayes. We're good. Move on.
There you go.
If it happens, you heard it here first.
Maybe. Fact check that.
Probably not.
Right.
I have said it before.
All right, you heard it on North Shore 9 first?
You heard it on the North Side Notch. The same account that slanders the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Like 6 months ago.
Block him.
Yeah, I feel like we did talk about this.
We did.
Before.
Did we talk short though or second?
Now we talk short.
It was short.
Who cares?
Was it?
Second base, you can throw a lard there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Colin Moran at second. Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought we talked about second base. If it was short, then I apologize. I thought we mentioned second before. Because I know we talked about this to a degree.
I mean, Neil Walker was basically the exact same situation, moving to second base.
That's a good point.
He was a gold glove minor league third baseman who they just ended up moving to second base once he reached the majors to make room for Pedro.
Right.
He also had a baby arm. He was fat. He didn't look like he worked out ever. Bucko Mike would be proud of me right now.
I was just gonna bring it up. Man boobs.
Right.
Old moobs.
Moobs. Oh, that's right. Moobs. That's what he called them. Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad I derailed us at the end. You're closing it. I had to bring up Phillip Evans, so we can go ahead and close it again if you want, Jim.
Yeah. So we talked about Evans, but yeah, I mean, lots of decisions went down this week. Winter meetings next week, so hopefully we've got some more stuff to talk about here shortly, and we will have Jeopardy next week. Also, I know we were supposed to have Jeopardy this week. We ended up having to push it back a week, but next week things will be back to normal. There won't be Wednesday football. It'll be a normal.
I mean, that we know of.
That we know of.
Play by ear.
All right.
That's all I got, though. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.